Hello and welcome back to my channel. So if you've come from the last video, you will know that this is the second part in the videos I'm doing, which is my fibromyalgia story and my healing story. So in the last video I did my fibromyalgia story, and this video is going to be my healing story. So if you want to find out about how I got healed and basically everything like that and how I've been since then please keep watching. Oh, this feels so weird to film this. I'm so happy though. So I just wanted to quickly say that I know people don't believe in healing, and you know what, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just here to share my story in case it might help anyone who's going through something similar or knows someone who's going through something similar to what I had. If you can hear something in the background, it's my bunny because his cage is over there and he's playing with his bottle. Cool. So let's get into the video. So I had fibromyalgia for 18 months, and every single day I had pain. There was never a day where I didn't have pain. Whether it was extreme pain or very little pain, I still had pain. If you haven't watched the last video, it would probably be helpful if you could watch that, so I wouldn't be explaining everything again, but I will mention little bits about how fibromyalgia was. But if you want a bigger picture, then just watch the last video. So I had fibromyalgia for 18 months, and when I first got it, everyone from my church was really supportive, and they were all saying I would get healed. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how it all happened and how I have been since then. Today I'm filming because it's actually 130 days since I got healed, and I'm really happy, and I'm just so happy. I don't want to cry. Okay. Being healed was one of the most amazing feelings I've ever had in my whole life. To be told that you're going to have an illness that is lifelong and there's no cure for it, and you're going to have it every day, to giving everything to God and just asking Him to take it away, and Him actually doing it, is insane. I never thought I would get healed. So when I first got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, everyone told me I would be healed and they would pray for healing. And I found it very difficult to believe in healing, as I only read about healings in the Bible, and I think God is amazing that He can bring people back from the dead and heal people who are paralysed. But I don't know if it's just me or if you've heard about healing, but I don't really hear about healing as a modern thing. Every week someone would tell me that I was going to get healed, and it was mostly my aunt who would say, "You're going to get healed," and I thought in the back of my head every single week, no matter how much I want to believe that I could have a healing, I don't want to believe in something that might have the possibility that it might not happen. And I kind of told myself, you know what, God's given this to me for a reason, and maybe the reason is to help people who have invisible disabilities. And I know that God would never want to harm me or hurt me, so I always assumed that way. So every single day for 15 months I was on amitriptyline, from 10 milligrams all the way to like 30 milligrams, and with the doctors we kept changing it when it would get better, and when it got worse we'd up amitriptyline again. So I was constantly going back and forth on the amount, but I was always on amitriptyline. I could frequently take ibuprofen and paracetamol if the amitriptyline wasn't doing enough for me, which most of the time it was, but on severe days where pain was really bad, I would have to take ibuprofen as well, which didn't really do much. But you know, if you think about it and you're like, well, I have taken this and this will help me, like knowing that you've taken something always reassures me, rather than thinking, oh, I should have taken it. So every year my church holds an Elevate camp, which is for youth to go and encounter God over the summer. And before the whole thing started, my best friend actually told me, you're going to be healed, and I'm not leaving the weekend until you're healed and you don't have this anymore. And I was like shocked. I was like, you've got things wrong with you and you're not like praying for healing about yourself. And she said, you know, Millie, your illness is lifelong, mine's only like 5 years tops. I don't want you for the rest of your life being sad, because I was already losing myself as a person because I didn't have good self-esteem, and I wasn't me, I wasn't as eccentric and over the top as I usually was. I'm quite a hyper person, but having fibromyalgia definitely took that quality out of me. So over the church camp, loads of people kept telling me, we're going to pray for healing, we're going to pray for healing. And as much as I wanted to believe it in myself, not to get my hopes up for something that might not happen, and in the back of my head I was always like, I just want to be healed, I want this taken away from me. I don't want the rest of my life living in this little box where I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do. So the whole weekend, the whole week even before it, my pain was fine. And this is a crucial moment for me. My pain was fine before the camp. And as soon as I got out of the car to get to camp, when we arrived, my pain hit me. And I hadn't had severe pain like that for around 6 months. And in the back of my head I was like, something's going to happen this weekend. So the whole weekend my pain was bad, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do much, I wasn't allowed, I couldn't jump during the services, I couldn't stand or sing during the services, I wasn't running, I wasn't doing the activities, I was watching. And although I love seeing all my friends have fun, I also wanted to have fun myself, but that wasn't a possibility for me. So I sat out quite a lot, and on Sunday I woke up, so it's a 3-day period, Friday afternoon, Saturday all day, and Sunday till mid-afternoon. And Sunday morning I woke up with extreme back pain and pain in my legs. And my pastor was talking about having a hard heart, and your heart has loads of layers, and your heart is fine, or your heart's there, but you've put these layers around it that are broken and you just need to take them off. And all the talks that weekend stuck out to me like a sore thumb. I knew I was there for a reason, and until the healing had happened I wasn't sure what the reason was. So I wanted to see a miracle. I wanted either me to be healed, I wanted my friends to be healed, but always in the back of my mind there was a possibility of me not being healing and me not being healed either, and not having my life back, in a sense. If you've had pain you'll know what I mean when I say having your life back. You still have your life, but, or if you don't understand what I mean, I just mean you won't have all the possibilities of everyone else, and that's not a bad thing. I just mean it kind of puts you in a box, in a corner of what you can and can't do. After the talk I actually had a pillow under my legs and a pillow on my back because a chair was too hard for me to sit on. It felt like nails, and the pain was so bad in my legs it actually felt like electric shocks running through them whenever I touched them or anything like that. And everyone went to the front, and I knew I had to get to the front. I was like, I physically cannot walk to get to the front, and it's a small building, but I couldn't do it without help. And I remember looking over at someone in my youth who was a leader, and she looked at me and was like, go to the front. I was like, my legs don't work, like I can't move. So we had a little laugh about it, and then she said, no, I really feel like you should go to the front. I walked to the front, and is where the healing happened. So I had pain in my legs, and she asked if she could touch them, and I said, if I wince, it's not because of what you're doing, it's because of pain, but please can you just pray for healing? And I was like, I've tried to do it my way for 18 months, refusing that healing exists, but I can't do this on my own. I need to give this a shot, and I need to give God my everything, because if I don't, I'm going to be annoyed at myself. So she has her hands on my leg and she's praying, and I'm having this conversation with God, and I'm like, I've done it my way, it's failed, I can't live the rest of my life like this. God, please can you take it away? I will give you everything. And when I say everything, every single aspect of my life had to go to him. And in that moment, the pain was so bad, it was like someone stabbing in electric shocks in my legs. And I remember slightly, very, very slightly, a little bit of pain went down. And in that moment, I knew I had to decide whether I'd been healed or not. And I could have then said, no, it's not healing. Or I could have given it my best and saying, this is it, I'm being healed. So as the pain gets better, for 18 months, I hadn't actually been able to bend my leg up to my right leg, foot, to my left knee. I hadn't been able to do that because it hurt too much. So whilst we're praying, I moved my leg and I'm like, why isn't this hurting? Like, I've got pain and it's going, but this isn't hurting, this isn't causing me any more pain. And once we're done, she actually said to me, Millie, you couldn't have done that before. And I said, I know. She said, do you want a hand getting up? I said, I think I want to try it myself. So I stood up, expecting pain to hit me in the shins, which it normally does, and I got nothing. And this is basically where it gets so amazing after, because the pain didn't get me, and the whole week, so this was around 12 o'clock, and we were tidying up before we left. After yesterday's activities, we had to get everything cleared up, and my group were on the field collecting water balloons. And I remember seeing my friends, I was like, if God's really healed me, I will be able to run. I will be able to run, which I couldn't do before. Like, let alone walk without pain. Hadn't been able to run. And I ran to them. And I could see people looking at me, but they didn't say anything. And I think they knew I had been healed, but they hadn't said anything to me because they wanted me to say it. And I ran over to them, expecting pain to hit me, and it didn't hit me. And I was like, this is crazy. I managed to lift my bags without any pain, and I hadn't been able to do that. And at the end, our last worship, I said, God, prove it to me. I just need this one more thing. Just one more time, please. Just prove it to me. And I was jumping, and every time I felt pain, I was like, I've got to keep going, I've got to keep going. And I jumped and I jumped and I jumped, and no pain came to me afterwards, because I knew that the pain I was getting wasn't from God, because God had taken that pain away from me. Fibromyalgia had such a grip over me that the devil wanted me to stay in that place. If you're a Christian, you'll know what I mean. So basically, July 19th, 2016, I got healed from fibromyalgia, which is meant to be a lifelong illness. There is no cure for fibromyalgia, and I was healed from it. And I didn't tell anyone for around 3 weeks properly. I told my youth, and I told my nan, because her and her church had been praying, and I told my mum and dad, who aren't Christians, but they were so supportive, and I was really scared to tell them, but they were unbelievably supportive. And I told all my friends later on, but I wanted it to be longer than like 2 days of healing before I told people, so I kind of put it off. And so after I'd been healed, I actually decided not to take my amitriptyline that night, bearing in mind I would have been taking it for 15 months, and if I had missed if I had missed 3 days, I would have severe pain if not taking my medication. So I was like, if I've really been healed, I won't get any pain from this. So I didn't take my medication for the first week, and I actually haven't taken it for 130 days, which is insane. Like, you're meant to wean yourself off of it, but I said to my mum, I feel like after I've been healed, if by me taking it, I'm kind of declaring over myself that I've still got that illness. So I haven't been on amitriptyline anymore for 130 days. I haven't taken any other pain relief for 130 days. I've been healed for 130 days, and it's like this new breath of life, and I can do so many things I could before. Within the first week, I think I went on my friend's trampoline and I was jumping and doing backflips, things I hadn't done for a long time. I was writing without any pain. I was doing things without pain, expecting pain, but it never came. And 130 days later, I can actually say I was healed from fibromyalgia, and all the glory has to go to God, because it's not a human's strength to do it. I mean, I was cured of a lifelong illness that has no cure, and I got cured. So I wanted to film this video to give anyone inspiration or motivation to keep going. I thought that maybe my story could help one of your friends who might be struggling, so that they can watch this video and know that they're not alone in what they're going through, or maybe it will just give someone a little bit more faith, or the faith that they needed, or it will just give them something that they wanted to hear. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please remember to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. Please feel free in the comments down below to leave either your healing story or your invisible disability story, or your story in general, because I would love to read them. So I hope this has helped anyone in any way. This is a really hard video for me to film, so I'm really glad I didn't actually cry. I feel like I've cried all my tears out before this video, before I started filming. But I really hope this has at least helped one person. And if it has, please just leave a comment, because it would mean the world to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I just wanted to say, for people who might be quizzical about, or like skeptical about healing, if you know me, I would never lie or make up the fact that I had a healing if I didn't. I was very skeptical about healing. I thought they didn't exist. My faith was actually going at this point, and I kept telling God over and over again, you've heard my cries. You've seen me crying and begging you to heal me, and yet you didn't at that time. And I think back to it now and I say, if he'd healed me then, I wouldn't have been ready for this. I wouldn't have been ready for this. And I just want people to say, you know, not to judge anyone on this down in the comments, and please be nice, because this is a very sensitive subject to me. And if you don't believe in it, that's okay, but please don't be nasty, basically, because I'm a human. You know, I've got feelings, I've got emotions, and we should all be treated like one. Great, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.